to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show and the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex the Cargirl Rogio, Hot Rod Bob Beck, plus Dar Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Look at me, just freshly waking up after a long nap at the Speed Scene Live couch.
Are you
not
coming
the
out?
Donnie Couch?
Are you coming out of hibernation?
It's a war. I was going to go for a Smokey Bear thing, but it obviously didn't work.
No.
Bruce Barker here. That would be Diana Might.
Welcome.
And there's Scott Lucky Hudson.
Great to be back, Bruce.
Oh, man, I'm so glad everybody is back, including me.
Wait. We got one more.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Okay, Bob Beck. He already spoke,
Hi.
I guess. Man, the man who apparently needed an introduction. Sorry about that, Bob. Wow.
I get even. I have the microphone. I can say things.
a ways of
We have a
dealing
way.
with you.
We have ways.
Hey, we want to keep you up to date. Like what you're watching right now, this is video from Match Race Madness, courtesy of Motor Peak Motorsports. You guys rock, and you put together great videos as well. 36 pairs of cars just last weekend, right, Lucky? Import versus domestic, great event. It was rocking.
Man, it was a great event. The pits were packed. There was tons of spectators. A lot of people came down. Bruce mentioned import versus domestic, which is a lot of fun. How about a mother and son? Diane Branham raced her son. First time ever they had that. They had all kinds of cool matches. Really a great time. Met some new people. Had a lot of fun down there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later. And we're going to kind of show you, some of the cool stuff that happened at Match Race Madness.
And it was perfect weather for it, too, wasn't it, Lucky?
Oh, man, it was perfect. The track was hooking. The weather was perfect. A lot of us went down Friday, and so we were kind of, camping out and partying the night
cool.
before.
Well, cool. And you know what? What's coming up in June? West Coast Classic Bracket Race. That's going to be at the Auto Club Dragway Fontana, June 12th through the 14th.
That's correct. And you know where else I'm going to be, Diana Might?
Where?
I am going to go back east. I'm going to hit some events back there. I'm going to go to the 10th annual Ultimate 64 Shootout at Mount Park Dragway in Clay City, Kentucky.
64 cars.
64 racers, $50,000 to win, plus all kinds of other races like the Triple Tens, different race every day. And you know what? You might actually get a chance. One racer was going to get a chance to take a pass down the track with Jeg Coughlin, the owner of Jegs, in his car. You're going to sit side by side. They're going to put all the names in a hat. They're going to draw out a name. You put on your fire suit, and boom, you're heading down the track with Jags.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
that's
Pro Stock champ. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, before June, of course, we have May, and May 14th through the 17th at Great Bend SRCA drag strip in Kansas. They're going to have the NHRA Divisional. Great track, great people, all concrete, right? Good, reasonable prices. It's ran by the nicest people around. Don't miss out.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great race. That's really a fun place to go racing.
Bob.
Yes.
You always give us a little special gas every week. What's your gas about this week?
We're going to get historic on you. We're going to talk about a brand new museum that is opening up in just a few days up in Oregon, the World of Speed. And I'll tell you what, it's got some heavy hitters that are running the place. You've got Tony Thacker. You've got Ron Huegli. He's going to be calling in. It's a whole list of people we'll be telling you about. We'll show you some pictures, and we'll talk about it. And these are car people extraordinaire. And the museum, it's just gorgeous.
And by the way, that's Hot Rod Bob Beck. I'm making up for...
Am I?
Yeah,
for the introduction?
I'm making up for the introduction.
Are you making up for
Is
that?
that who I am?
Yeah, that's right. Here, let's take a look at that.
We
There's
call
Hot Rod
him-
Bob Beck right
Hi.
We call him Casper the Friendly Ghost
Yeah.
here in studio, but you can call him Bob Beck.
Yes, there we go.
Inside joke.
And right now, I've got my best tan of the year, so yeah.
Well, tonight, Diana Might, we are going to have another racer just like you, a young lady that's involved in racing, and her name is Erica Ortiz, and she's going to talk about the return of her all-female Pro Mod team. Now, I'm not sure if it's really all-female. We're going to have to ask
why
her.
wouldn't it be all-female? If she says it's all-female, it can be all-female.
You know, I was looking at the video, and I saw some guys working on the car.
She probably lets the guys take the rocks off the tires or something like that.
You mean they're like trophy guys?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, before we talk to Erica, we've been talking a lot about Match Race Madness. Their next event is coming up in August, and we're going to keep you updated. But don't you think it'd be nice if we talked to one of the racers that's involved? I race it all the time.
Yeah.
But let's talk to one of the other racers. We got a great guy that races a good-looking red Camaro, comes out to a lot of the events, and I think it would be nice if we just took a minute, let him tell us about his impression of Match Race Madness. Let's check it out. Talking to Anthony Spikes here, Match Race Madness. Anthony, good-looking Camaro, man.
Thank you very much.
How's it running out here at the Verona drag strip?
Man, it's running wonderful. Throwing the wheels up, everything's awesome right now.
Now, you have a match race set up, right? What numbers or who are you racing?
My original opponent was Nick Gilcom, but I found out he had some car problems, so he couldn't make it today, so now I'm just open.
You're looking for a match?
I'm looking for a match.
Wow, well, there's a lot of nice cars out here, and, there's got to be somebody here. How fast are you in the 8?
550.
Oh, you're fast. Oh, yeah, there's not that many cars out here running 550, so that kind of brought the pool down a little bit.
Yeah, Steve is looking for a race for me.
Okay.
He's got my back.
Let me ask you got a lot of friends out here helping you out? Who's helping you?
I got my dad as the crew chief, and all his friends are supporters, so they help wherever I need them, here to help me out.
And where are you from?
San Marcos, California.
So this is a track that you race at quite a bit?
My everyday track.
And tell us a little bit about the car. The car looks great, nice looking red Camaro. What kind of power? What are you running?
It's a 78 Camaro with a big block Chevy, about 850 horses, and does the job.
And, you're nice and aerodynamic. I drive a 66 Nova, so it's a little boxy, not quite as swoopy, but you got that front end that comes down, and it helps you a little bit aerodynamically.
Yeah, it helps me cut through the wind, so I get good 60 foots. It's wonderful.
Now, if you find a match, you get an opportunity to win, you probably got some pretty good things to say about Match Race Madness.
I love Match Race Madness. Look at this crowd. It's beautiful. Where else are you going to get this?
Nice. That's what we like to hear. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Good luck today. I hope you get a match, and I hope you take it all the way to the final.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Motor Peak. You got to get a match there.
Yeah. I like that cinematography. Like we almost got a clear shot up your shorts at one point.
That's not necessarily what I would look for.
Well,
I was.
Motor Peak did a great job, and we're going to have more interviews just like that, more race coverage. But I think we should quickly, before we talk to Erica Ortiz, let's check in with Paul Williams Specialties, and let's take a look. Right here, we've got him working on that project motor of yours, Diana, Mike.
What's he doing now?
Well, these are called lifter gallery vent tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And, all the small block Chevys have these holes that allow to vent, but also allow oil to drip down. And that oil creates parasitical drag on the crankshaft and the camshaft. And really, if you set the motor up correctly with a good oil pump and a good system, you've got lubrication. You don't really need that lubrication. Really what it does is it robs a little horsepower, and it'll also foam up the oil. It'll aerate it, which makes it less effective. So what Paul does is he puts these tubes in, which they're still vents. It raises it up, but it allows the oil to go over to the ends where it won't drip down on your rotating assembly.
Interesting.
I never even thought of that.
Well, I'll admit, I had no idea you could get that much parasitic drag after just oil dripping on rotating assembly.
Well, that's, we used a hamburger oil pan on the motor, and a lot of the job of the hamburger oil pan is all these little tricks, like a windage tray and a scraper, and what that does is it gets the oil off the crankshaft. And so Paul likes to install these on all his motors, and he puts a little sealer in there. So, when he threads them in and then torques them down, they're sealed in. They don't come loose. But really, we want to talk about these Comp Cams affordable sportsman roller lifters. These are a new product on the market. Comp Cams looked around. They said, what do racers really need? What does the regular guy need? And we're all using really good roller lifters now, and we need something we can afford because these darn things are so expensive. So they've created a line. These are really high quality, premium quality, but they're still rebuildable. So you can use them in your motor, send them back for a nominal fee. They'll go through, they'll rebuild them. There's two different types. They've got the traditional needle bearing or the bronze bushing. And like all the high quality ones, they've got two of the pressurized EDM oil feeds. But they also have a edge orifice feed, and that creates very reliable oil feed. Keeps the roller lifters, keeps the wheels, the needle bearings, everything nice and lubricated. They're a little stiffer, they're a little stronger. As technology increases, they make these better, and they're making them out of 8620 premium steel. And here Paul's putting the cylinder heads on. Now these roller lifters have captured stainless steel link bars, and they make them for a lot of different motors, like big block Chevy, small blocks. They make them for small block Fords and big block Chrysler and Hemi, but they've got a bunch of other applications coming out soon. So if you have a motor that they're not making them for yet, keep an eye on them. Go to compcams.com, and Diana might... Every week we show a little bit more of that motor.
And I'm learning so much. He had those lifters like in a bath of lubricant before he put them in, before he installed them. So they were getting nice and lubricated, and they just kind of slid into place.
So now one of you guys can probably answer this. You know me, I'm such an old school guy on engine assembly that I'm just used to having one lifter at a time. Why do you have the link bar? Why are the lifters tied to each other?
It keeps the wheel from turning, because instead of a flat tappet or like a hydraulic tappet,
of course,
which spins, now you have a wheel, and you have to keep that wheel aligned.
Right, it's got to be the right angle to hit the cam.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and other than that, I was going to force the cam to walk out of the block. No, seriously.
Yeah.
He digs into the cam.
Good
Yeah.
So you've got to
Lord.
keep them parallel.
Wow.
So this is nice. This is a product. They listen to us. They listen to guys like me that said, hey, man, racing's expensive, man. It's you're dropping a lot of money on these parts. Help us out. And Comp Cams listened. Comp Cams delivered, and we're using them in Diana Mite's car.
And
they're
we're getting
working.
some great times with that engine.
We are. And we want to say special thanks to Paul Williams Specialties, great motor builder, and you can check out, I think we might even have a commercial for him a little later in the show.
You might be correct, sir.
Speaking of commercials, Bruce, let's take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Erica Ortiz, the return of Erica Ortiz.
Here we go. I'm Dan Hicks. You're watching Speed Scene Live, and I just won the March Me. Woo!
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you, slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars, and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
Good evening. I'm Diana with Speed Scene Live. Welcome back. And we've got Scott Lucky Hudson here to my left. We've got Bob Beck and Bruce Barker back there handling all the controls. We want to welcome you to another great Tuesday night. We've got so much action-packed stuff here for you, but we want to let you all know that we had talked to Rich Christensen from Pink's All Out a couple weeks ago.
He was a great video or interview, Diana.
He was. And you know what? They're coming back. You guys asked for it. You're going to get it. And tickets are on sale right now for their event at The Rock, Rockingham Dragway, 4th of July weekend. You don't want to miss out. You want to go. If you can't be a racer, be a spectator. Get on camera. Get on TV. It's so exciting. We want you to be there.
Well, you know, Dynamite, they want everyone to realize that this show isn't actually being televised. This is what this is, it's sort of a pilot. They're trying to get network interest. They've got people interested. Mm-hmm. They said, well, let me see what you can do.
Well, don't pilots get on TV like you?
Well, I don't know. But they want people to know that. Don't ask them, hey, where can I watch this? Because they haven't quite got that worked out yet. But they're working on it.
But a race is a race, right?
That's right.
You get to go. You get to race your car. You can win some money, right?
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big fan of drag racing, and there's a young lady that's been involved in drag racing for a lot of years. I think we should bring her on and talk to her about her involvement with the world of drag racing.
Sounds great. Let's go to line 1 and welcome Erica Ortiz. Erica, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, man, Erica, it's great to have you on the show. This is Lucky. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be with you guys today.
Well, you have a great story, and of course, I've been watching you with your career for years and years, and your horsepower and heels and the whole deal. But before we get into that, let's talk about how you were racing back with the T-Bird. I mean, you set a lot of records with the car that you ran before, didn't you?
We did. We actually we were the first in our class in a lot of different regards, but the car was more impressive just simply for what it wasn't, and it wasn't one of the high-budget teams. We did a lot with very, very little, and that was one of the main things that we were really, really proud of with that car.
Well, weren't you like I think it was NMCA, the first woman driver to go 200, or the first woman to go 6 seconds, something like that?
It was in Funford weekend, actually. Yes, in their Pro 50 class, I was the first into the 6s and over 200.
Wow. Nice. That's moving, man. That's some good drag racing. Now, you've taken this car, which was a great car, but you decided to sort of update it a little bit. Tell us about that.
We did. So after my rookie season in Pro 50 back in 2006, we had accomplished a lot that year with very little, like I said, and we decided we kind of wanted to step it up a little bit. So what we ended up doing in 2007, we began a project to basically redo the car, to strengthen the chassis a bit, upgrade a lot of the components, and then upgrade what was then a stock block at the time. We actually were running a stock block.
Wow.
A stock 460 block, and that was part of the reason that that little engine was so impressive. But it was getting to a point where it just needed to be replaced with something a little bit stronger and something we could push a little harder and really see what we were capable of in that regard. So we decided to redo that program, and of course that was during the time that the economy started heading south, and so that project ended up dragging on a lot longer than what we originally anticipated.
Now, you changed the body and everything on that car. Was it a complete new car, or did you kind of cut up the old one and turn it into the new one?
We took the car, we took the body completely off, the T-Bird body completely off, and did a lot of strengthening to the chassis. Dan Parker from Parker Chassis was the one that did those upgrades back in 2007. And then we did rebody it into a Mustang body. So it's got the, the 2007, 2009
looks
Mustang
great.
body on it.
Looks great. We're showing a body or a photo of the body right now, and looks awesome. A couple of turbos sticking out the hood, and it looks. I don't know. I know it's newer, but it somehow looks more aerodynamic than the T-Bird.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Little bit. Now, I know you mentioned the economy, and that was tough for a lot of racers with sponsorship. And, it's hard for everybody because a lot of companies that sponsored racers and got involved had to sort of pull back. And thankfully, things are going better now. But you also had some health issues at the same time that kind of took you off track, derailed you from your racing career.
I did, actually. We were, like I said, in process with that build, and I received some really bad news that I kind of struggled with a little bit earlier in my 20s as well. Genetically, it kind of ran through my family, and I got some bad news when I went into the doctor back in 2007. They had found some cancerous cells that had previously been removed but were persistently coming back, and they were recommending some pretty invasive surgery that would have kind of limited my options in the future to ever be able to have a family of my own. And
that's no good.
Yeah, it was something that, as a racer when I was in my early 20s, really all I ever thought about was being able to race, and I always thought that I'd, get the chance for the family life a little bit later, and after I'd gotten through some of the racing stuff, we were doing so well, and I hadn't stopped to think about the family side of things. And so when I was faced with that news, it kind of set me back. I wasn't sure what direction to go. I had to focus on my health, and at the time, I was just moved out of the area I was in. I'd moved to a new area, job changed, relationship had changed. I had a lot of different changes in my life, and I wasn't anywhere near being able to, even think about starting a family, if that was even possible at that point. Luckily, I found a doctor, though, that was able to do kind of a more risky procedure, and struggled with that for a little while. It got through and recovered, and then met Alex, and who's my husband now, and we were able to start a family, and I had my son in 2013.
Wow, way to go! Yeah, nice. Thank goodness there was a happy ending to that story. Yeah, we were all getting a little teary-eyed over here, Erica, to tell you the truth. But the cancer seems to be in remission at this point.
Yes, luckily I've had no other incidents since, and everything has, everything with my son was great, and
nice.
So I'm blessed in that regard.
Nice. Now, let's talk a little bit about your race team, and we're so happy that you survived a horrible scare. You tote yourself as having an all-female race team, and I noticed that you have the young lady in the video sitting in the car with you. I think she's your marketing person.
Yeah, that's Debbie. She's been with me since the very beginning, and we've got a solid core of girls that help out. We're a small team, of course, so there's not a whole lot of us, and I've been lucky enough to have a lot of mentors outside of that have kind of guided us and helped us out, where we lack. There has been times, especially at the end of 2006, the last two races of the Fun Ford Weekend Championship, as I run it up for the championship that season, but the last two races when we were down to the wire, I actually had to load up the truck and trailer and go by myself, and was lucky enough to have some friends out in those areas who helped me unload the trailer, line me up on the starting line, and when you're a small team, you kind of do whatever you can and get the help you need, in the areas. And I'm blessed that I've had a lot of help like that from friends all across the country that I've met through the racing that have stepped up to lend a helping hand.
Erica, this is Hot Rod Bob. When did you start racing? How old were you?
I actually came about racing not in a traditional sense. So I really had nobody in my family that had anything to do with motorsports or racing. I came about it. I loved cars in high school, and I bought my first Mustang right as I was graduating high school and started taking it out to the track, and that's how I began.
Wow, what did your parents think about that?
They were a little skeptical at first. They kind of questioned, what was going on, but they slowly, kind of figured out that there was no changing or slowing that drive, and have been supported ever since.
Wow, that's great. So now you've moved up from, you ran a stock Mustang, basically, to a turbocharged Thunderbird. And
That's
now,
a big step.
That's a big step. Now a turbocharged Pro Mod Mustang.
Yeah. I actually started out in the drag radial class, and that's back when I was running drag radial. We were, in the 8s and that was a big deal back then. And now you see these radial cars are running in the 6s and just absolutely flying. So it's been a long progression to see, what racing has become in the last, 10 years. I kind of feel like it's just flown by the advancements, of all of the progression and how fast they're going now. It's kind of crazy, but I'm excited to be part of the Pro Mod crew. I've got some catching up to do for sure in the time that I've been, away, learning the new technology and the different direction that they've all gone.
Erica, who are your sponsors? Who are the people that are helping you out?
Well, we're just getting kicked back off. So of course, we're very grateful to the people that have stood beside us, through all of that, through the downturn and when we had to kind of park the car for a while. So, of course, Brisk USA was on board with us in the beginning, and they helped us to even be able to begin the Mustang rebuild process. So I'm extremely grateful to them. Trick Flow had helped us out with some of the engine components. We just signed Excessive Motorsports, who is helping us out with some of the rotating assembly and balancing, and they picked out our piston configuration, and they've got some custom pistons being ordered for us, and so they're helping us out with some of that work. Harlan Sharp and RJS Racing. We've got a pretty strong mix, and we're always, of course, looking for new sponsors to come on board. We've got some, work to do yet on the cars, so we'll be looking to try to bring on more on board in the future and get this thing back together.
There's some more room on that car for sponsorship names, right?
Definitely.
Where are you going to be racing next? Where's the first race you're planning on attending?
Well, we're still kind of learning the navigation out there right now, and kind of finding where the car fits best, because it has been so long and the classes have changed so much. Right now, we're looking at possibly NMCA as well as some of the regional Pro Mod events to get our feet wet, and then go from there and see how we do and where we're headed next.
Great. Now, if anyone wants to follow your career, what website is best for them to go to? I know I've been going to horsepowerandheels.com. Is that the best place to follow your career?
It sure is. That is the website that I created for the team, but it has also grown beyond that as well. In the time that I was away from racing, I used it to kind of focus and support and promote women in racing in general. So not only can you read up about our team and what we're doing, but you can also read about other teams and other racers out there that are navigating, the male-dominated motorsports realm as well.
Nice. Well, we wish you the best of luck. We're happy that you had a long, hard road, and we're happy that it's come out with a happy ending at the end. And we can't wait to see you in your car out there racing and going rounds. And I think it's just wonderful to have you back, and welcome back to racing, door car racing. And we're going to follow you, and we would just love to see you out in the winner circle someday.
Well, we hope to get there soon. So thank you so much for having us, and we love listening to the show, and we can't wait to update you about where it goes from here.
Great. Thanks so much.
Sounds great, Erica. Keep in touch, okay?
We will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
man, I was so glad there was a happy ending because I was starting to choke up a little bit.
Well, you know what? I think we were all kind of choking up a little bit, but there at the end, she came through. She got a son. She's married. She's back in her race car. She's doing great, and that's what we like to hear.
That's what we like. Now, Bob,
yes,
you've got a great person that drives a beautiful, funny car that I see at a lot of events. I always admire. Looks beautiful. It's a striking image, striking paint job. Why don't you bring him on the show?
All right, with us tonight from the world of speed, it's Ron. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing good, Bob. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Thanks for hanging on. And just a normal introduction. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Beck, and you've got gas, and we're sharing it with Ron. So tell us about the museum.
Well, for those of you that don't know, World of Speed is a new motorsports museum that's opening this coming Friday here in the Portland, Oregon area. We're just about 15 minutes south of Portland, right on the way to Woodburn Drag Strip. We're real close to a drag strip as well, and this is something that we've been working on for about the last 3 years.
When I'm looking at the photographs that you've got on online, this is a very high class type facility that you've got going. I mean, this is high tech, and it is not your typical, well, I got a garage and I parked my cars in this warehouse or something like that. This is really a neat facility.
It is. Initially, we started out, we were just going to have a small facility with 25, 30 cars and just be a great place for car people to hang out. And the building that we're in kind of became available and was brought to us. It's 80,000 square feet, and it just begged to. It was kind of like an empty canvas, shall we say, that we were able to do with as we liked and turn it into what you're seeing now on your screen. We've got a mid-century modern theme that goes along here between the furniture, the decor, the building itself. It really lends itself well to the story we're trying to tell, which I really like to hearken to the golden age of motorsports, basically post-war up to the early 80s, when sponsorship really started to take over. But back at a period when it seemed to be a little bit more pure, and a group of guys could get together and put a top fuel car together, or a couple of guys could go out and field a stock car. And that's really what we're trying to celebrate.
All right, we've got a video here of you trying to teach someone how to react to a Christmas tree. Let's watch this now.
Here at the museum, drag racing, they use what they call a Christmas tree to start the race. Two competitors, they roll their race cars up to the start beam, they get it in the pre-stage, then they hit the stage bulb. That means that they're ready to go, and then when the yellow flash, they smash the gas and away they go. Right now, I'm joined by our guest services coordinator, Christine. She's going to try and see if she can beat the Tiki Man. So let's see how we do here. You ready?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, man.
Okay, one more time. Let's see what we got here. Oh, red lit. Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're a little early.
Over 58. Okay, one more time. Okay. 2 out of 3. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Mess with you. Up.
It's the only video game I've seen kind of thing with a roll cage, Ron.
Ron, this is so cool. You get people interacting with the displays.
Mm-hmm.
It really turned out quite well. It's a portatory system that we kind of modified.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked, what's it like to be in the funny car or dragster, and this is kind of fun. You can, we built a couple of funny car type cages, and you got the butterfly wheel, and you kind of, you get a little bit of the feel as close as you can. What I've really enjoyed is watching, parents race their kids, grandparents race their grandkids. It's been a lot of fun to see that, and they just kind of have a hard time with the employees. A lot of the employees like to sit there and play with it as well too. So it's like, come on, we got to get to work. We got a museum to finish.
All right, we're watching a burnout of you, Ron. We want to validate what you do. You're not just a museum-y guy. You are actually a driver. You drive a funny car, the Tiki Warrior.
Well, I like to tell people I'm just a car guy that's a curator in training. I don't know that I'll ever quite get the hang of the curating thing. I'm really blessed. I've got the greatest job in the world. Yeah, that's the tiki car. That's kind of what one of the things that kind of got this the whole museum thing going. When I got together with the founders and they talked about wanting to do something, I was driving the race car, and the tiki's been just absolutely fantastic experience. Started basically with it in 2009, and here's at Bowling Green. I love going back to Bowling Green and Bakersfield. The fans in Bowling Green are just incredible, and it's a cool place to. The vibe is just really a neat vibe to go back there and have fun.
Ron, you're kind of well known for doing huge, giant burnouts too, aren't you?
Everybody asks me why I do those big burnouts, and I say, well, if I don't, I'm only in the car for 6 seconds, so I try to extend my time in the car as long as possible. And it's a lot of fun. I'm with an alcohol car. It's no problem. I can do it. We can run it down. I've more than once. You can ask Bob or Condit at Bakersfield. Any of those guys, they know I've tripped the beams with the car and on a burnout. But what's even better is to do that big burnout and put on that great show, and then come back and run a 7 flat in the 7.0 category, or for the Northwest Double B, we go out and run 675s, and a lot of people think, well, you can't do you can't make your car run, you got to do a burnout. But no, we can. This last fall we went 630s at 220 mile an hour with the car. So it's I've got the greatest car owner, crew chief, team. They're the best.
All right, now you've got a pretty substantial group of people that are going to be running this museum with some great credentials. Why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, Tony Thacker kind of came on.
Tony Thacker, we love that guy.
Yeah, he came on board. When he got available after his time with NHRA, I contacted him and said, hey, we're doing this deal. And so he came up, and he and I kind of worked hard with the founders and put this deal together. And so we're getting ready to go through the opening. Tony, he's decided that he's going to retire after this grand opening. He's lived a great life of with the hot rod world, and he wants to go out and experience life. He's got his family's still down there in Pomona, so it's been kind of a challenge for him, working up here and having the family down there. But we've got some great people that are behind this, and like you saw, Christine, the guest services gal, we've our volunteer coordinator, Charlesy. We've got an education component with this museum. We're going to actually start working with kids, teaching them some of the basics this summer with some summer camps, and then we go on into, so many of the schools have taken away the trades, whether it's automotive shop, machine shop, electrical, those kind of things. The schools can't afford to fund those projects anymore, and there's so many kids out there that are kind of lost. They've kind of fallen through the cracks, so to speak, because they don't fit into the 4-year college program, but yet they might have an interest in this. And so we're going to start taking an active role. John Omschler, our education director, he's heading up that program, and we're going to try and get kids back involved. The motorsports is kind of the hook. You see some cool race cars. It seems kind of neat. You want to go see that, and then they find out there's an opportunity for them to do something in the world of automotive.
Good. That gives them an alternative to that. Now, again, I'm really taken back by the quality of the displays and the cars that you're showing. You go to some museums and somebody's paying to store their car there. They're not the greatest museum pieces, but you've got some high-dollar pieces there.
Yeah, look at this display here where you sit in the car and you can look out, and it looks like, is that like El Mirage, or what are you looking at? Is that a track in front of you?
Well, I think actually somebody probably spun out on the infield. That's one of our simulators. We've got three. We've got three simulators. That's Johnny Benson's 1998 Ford Taurus that he ran for Roush Racing. Wow. We've also got Adrian Fernandez's 1995 Lola that he ran in the IndyCar series, and then we've got a 1962 to Lotus 2022 Formula car. We've taken real race cars and we've mated them up with a wraparound screen and turned them into simulators. They're fully immersive. I mean, we've had professional drivers get in and you can't get them out. It's as close to driving a race car as you possibly can get without actually driving one.
Don't you think that's a great way to get people that maybe aren't currently gearheads or racing fans, and you get them involved and you get them in the cars and you get them in this interactive stuff and they become more interested in it?
Absolutely. I think that we've got there's the race fan and then there's the casual fan, and the casual fan really kind of they're taken aback by the opportunity to sit in a real race car and realize that how many people actually get the chance to sit and drive a car that raced at the Indianapolis 500, and with our Indy car, you could get in it and you see people become little kids again. And it's really exciting, and that they get the opportunity to do that. But they're also an educational tool. We can use them. We can with the computer programs that we can put within it. We can work with kids. We can teach them about texting and driving and how that's a problem. We can show them how if they stay up all night and then they get in the car, they can be drowsy drivers, or sleep deprived drivers, and they see how their reaction times fail. So there's an opportunity for that as well, and that's what's really exciting. That it's a cool looking. It kind of looks like a toy, and it's kind of fun, but it can also be used as an educational tool.
All right, World of Speed. Now this opens up this Friday, the official opening date. Is that correct?
Yeah, Friday. Friday's our grand opening. We're going to have our what I like to call our ribbon burning ceremony. Most people, when they have a ribbon, when they cut the ribbon and open the doors, and we've got, like you say, we've got a lot of great cars here. One of the cars that we have is Dave Huff's 1969 Don Tuttle built Nanook fuel altered, and myself and my crew chief Scott Davis, we just converted it over. We put the nitro engine back in it, and so we're going to fire that up, and we're going to shove that through the ribbon. So that's how we're going to kick off the party.
There you go.
We've got Dave Huff and his son's going to be here. We've got a lot of great race car drivers. Claire Sanders, Jungle Pam's going to be here. Rob Bruins, 1979 world champion. Herm Peterson, Dick Calavoda, Danny Thompson's coming up. We've got his father's cars here in the museum.
Yeah, I saw
the Challenger,
that's the four-cylinder,
as well as the Assault and the Attempt. Janet Guthrie, she's going to be one of our keynote speakers. Some of the fans out there may not know who Janet Guthrie is. She was the very first woman to actually pass a rookie test, and then the following year she was the first woman to qualify for the Indianapolis 500. Right. That was back in 1977.
No, that's great. I mean, I am just really impressed with what you've done, what you're doing, and what the plans are. This is a really strong effort. Now, I've got a question. I'm looking at the Petty car. Was this his first Chevrolet? Do you know?
He actually, the gentleman that I talked with back at Petty's place, there was a Chevrolet that he did drive in the late 50s in that convertible class a couple of times, but that is his return. That was his first General Motors product that he actually went out and campaigned in the Grand National Series. He had just come out of Plymouth. He'd had a long dry spell. The car that we have is the Monte Carlo that he competed with in the 1979 season. It was a road course car. It was the car that took second at Riverside. It was also his backup short track car. A lot of people may remember that 1979, that was the year that he broke his winless streak and won the Daytona 500. Yeah. So, it's a General Motors product. It's a cool car. It's absolutely just flawless, and it's race ready. It's ready to go.
Yeah, that car looked familiar because I was working for Stock Car Magazine at the time, and we interviewed him at Riverside. Yeah, and that was his switch to Chevrolet, and it was a whole new learning experience for him. And you've got that on display. I got to come up just to see that.
Yeah, we've got that one. We also have the car that's affectionately known as Buster. It was Jeff Gordon's car. It was chassis number 2406, the sixth car that Hendrick had built. It was a car that he ran in his rookie year. and then in '93, and then in '94 he also ran it with the Lumina body. They rebodied it for 1995 with the Monte Carlo. He won Bristol and Dover with that car, and then he ultimately won the championship. That was his first of 4 championships that he won. And we have that car on the floor. We also, you saw on the Daytona wall, we've got Cale Yarborough's Oldsmobile up there on the top. Dale Jr.'s rookie car from 2000 is Monte Carlo. You see in this image right here, we got Danica Patrick's Formula Atlantic car, and then over to the left is Rolla Volsted's 1965 Indy car. Rolla's a local gentleman here out of the Portland area that built that car. He basically built that car in his basement.
Wow.
He had a shop underneath his place, and he built that car. They qualified with it at the Indianapolis 565.
You've got some quality cars. I mean, the displays are expertly done. I mean, that's just state of the art. The displays are amazing, but the cars too. They just look perfect. How did you amass all these rare race cars?
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. There are a lot of great auto museums around the country. You know, but for the most part, you know, they're somewhat specific to a certain genre of racing, whether it's, you know, NASCAR in Charlotte, Indy cars at Indianapolis, sprint cars at Knoxville, or drag racing in Pomona. But very few museums have all of them under one roof. And a lot of the people that own these cars are really excited about the opportunity to showcase their cars in a museum that has other forms of motorsports, because it's, you know, something that you haven't seen in the pictures. We have 2 hydroplanes. We've got the Miss Century 21, the Miss Driftway boat from 60, 61, and 62. It was a championship boat. We also have the Miss Budweiser from 69, 70, and 71. We've got 6 championship years of boat racing between those 2 boats. We've got a drag boat in here, and something that we just got in today I'm really excited about. It's called Old Number One. It's a 1929 Bentley. The car won Le Mans in 1929 and 1930. It won Brooklands. You go and just search Old Number One.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely incredible car that's been restored. It's competed at Laguna Seca, you know, in the historic races there. It's really a lot of fun to be able to work with these people and get these cars. As we've grown, people have realized that we're serious about this, and it takes a lot of trust for somebody to turn over their car, you know, to put it on loan, to put it in a facility, and but they're really excited to see their cars here in this place.
All right, Ron, that is great. Now, what is the website that people need to go to find out more information about the World of Speed?
You can catch us at worldofspeed.org. You can keep up with there. It's got information as far as what's going on here at the museum, membership information. We're open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 5. It's got hours. The price to get in is $10. It's just $10 for an adult, and it's a very affordable opportunity for people to come see it. You can also follow us on Facebook at World of Speed USA. There's a Twitter thing. I'm not quite up to speed with all of that latest electronic technology, but I do know the Facebook thing, and you saw the Facebook post. It's been a lot of fun to see that and see people can reconnect with some people. They just go, oh man, you know, that my dad worked on that car or something like that. It's been really great.
And where's your next race? Where are you racing next?
Well, the Tiki car, we're going to start. We're going to hit it hard here, probably about the end of May. We're going to go out and test. Got some new components to put in the car. The first Northwest Double B Funny Car race will be at Woodburn, the Rose Festival. That's the first weekend of June. Unfortunately, I wish we miss out. We didn't go to Bowling Green last year because of the museum, and we're not going to make it again. It's a long travel. I mean, it's 10 days on the road for me, and but we'll be we're kicking around. We might be down to Bakersfield for the reunion. We've got the 3 races at Woodburn, and then we race at Mission and Boise. We've got a 8-race schedule so far with the Tiki car, and maybe we'll bring a cackle car out or two.
All right, sounds great. Ron, thank you very much for calling in. Say hi to Tony for us. We haven't seen him since he went up there. And say hello to Gwen.
I will. Thanks a lot, Bob, and Lucky and Diana. Hope to see you at the racetrack soon.
Ron, great
care,
talking
Ron.
to you. Thanks so much, and give our regards to Tony. He's a great guy and a big asset to your museum.
All right.
Bruce, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we've got what's going on. We're going to tell you a little bit about some of the races coming, and hey, we might even have a little Donnie Couch surprise interview in the wings.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Adam Sorokin. I'm the 2012 Nostalgia Top Fuel champion. When I'm not driving my race car, I'm watching Speed Scene live.
Take your vehicle's racing performance to an all-new level with a custom racing engine from Paul Williams Specialties. Put PWS's 30-plus years of experience to work on your race car, muscle car, any type of high-performance engine. PWS can build your winning combination from scratch or refresh and improve your current engine. Working on a project? Don't waste money through trial and error. Consult with Paul Williams first. Rev up your performance with Paul Williams Specialties, helping championship-level drivers become champions through better performance and reliability.
For over half a century, Curry rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Curry lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Curry gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Curry expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Curry's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Curry Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all-American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
I'm Darrell Ehrlich. I just set the national speed record in top fuel drag boat racing at 262 miles an hour. Speed Scene Live, baby.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. You know, Donnie Couch is not only one of our favorite people to do interviews, but I think he's probably the best guy out there. Why? I don't know. He just has that personality. He's smooth. He just flows right in. And tonight,
it's charisma. Lucky.
Charisma. Is that what- He's got a boatload of it. Let me tell you.
It's spelt with 2 letters, B and S.
Oh, that's how you spell it.
We're gonna be in trouble.
I would like to bring in Donnie Couch right now, and he's going to talk to Dave Grubnic.
Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live 2015 Winter Nationals. First race of the year. David Grubnic, we're used to seeing you in the driver's seat, my friend, but you show up here, brand new team, crew chiefing with Lance Larson, and you got a big smile on your face.
Yes, it's, I've always been involved in the technical side, as you know.
Yes.
We go back 20 years, so more, actually. More. So, it's now, the timing's right. I need to do this, so... I've had so many things on the back burner, all these things that I've sort of looked at and wanted to mess around with, and that's something we'll look at down the road, but for now we're sticking to the standard model. We're working on this setup. 2 months ago we had nothing, so, this team's done an outstanding job to get all the assets in place. So we bought a car from the Torrance group, so we have a base setup, and now we're just refining it and moving forward with it. So we're just doing baby steps. We only had about 3 runs with it in Vegas. We came here, and here is a test session for us. That's why the car hasn't gone to the finish line yet. So once we achieve all our objectives from, we have to have all that handled up to the 330, and once that's done, then we can move forward with it.
Yeah, well, Dave, it's great seeing you. How does it feel to be on the start line standing behind a car when you're used to driving it? It's got to be a different feeling for you, right?
It is, and it's good. It's good when you sit down and you crunch all the numbers out and you look at everything, like that last run we did, and, it was a planned half-track run. So if everything works and the numbers come in line, shutting it off at half-track, it should roll through for an 86. I was hoping for like an 86, a 90 flat, something like that. Clay went a little bit further and he clicked it, but it put an 83 up, and it's gratifying to see those numbers come up when everything works. So no, dude, it's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, especially first race of the year, no testing, brand new team. You throw everything together. Hey, you put some talent together like you and Lance, and everything starts to gel. You guys are going to be a team to reckon with.
Well, we hope so, but, it's sort of like, it's one thing, you can stay somewhere long enough and figure out how to run one of these cars. So, the key is to adapt it to all the different conditions and the different racetracks we go to. Each track has its own personality. So, it's still early days, but, we're heading in the right direction.
David, how many races this team are we going to see at?
The plan is we're doing them all. We're doing all the races. The owner is committed. We have to we've obviously got to build our spare inventory. We've got to build a lot of, we have to have the resources in place. So, it'll be a slow start for us. We'll just tiptoe our way through it until we can build all the necessary assets we need. But yes, we're going to them all. We're going to spend all year learning how to get this thing working as it should so we can give them a run at the end for the last 6 races.
All right, he's Dave Grubnic, one of the most popular drivers in the sport. Now gone to the crew chief status, and big smile on his face. So we wish you luck, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks, Donnie.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to see him at the track, and of course Donnie doing the interview. Dynamite, what time is it now?
Well, it looks like it's almost the top of the hour, so I would expect it is what's going on, right, Lucky? And we want to thank our sponsors. A special thanks to Curry Racing Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Header, Aeromotive, M&H, thefoat.com. Did I leave anybody out, Lucky?
Well, let's throw LAT Racing Oil in there, because we've been using that LAT Racing Oil.
Absolutely.
And their ATF, and man, that's the best stuff out there. And there's a lot going on coming up in the near future, and of course May 15th through 17th we got a couple of events going. We've got Eagle Field has a 3-day event. I think I'm going to head on out there. I'm going to go back in time with flag start drag racing and many legends of the past. And if you're not on the West Coast, if you're closer to, say, Kansas, Great Bend Drag Strip in Kansas has an NHRA divisional, and you can head on out there and race or watch or do whatever you want. I love that track.
And we want to let everybody know, don't forget about the Pinks All Out at Rockingham Dragway. That's The Rock. It's going to be June 30th through July 4th. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Facebook Pinks All Out Week.
All right, plan your summer June 12th through the 14th. It's the 10th annual Ultimate 64 Shootout at Mountain Park Dragway in Clay City, Kentucky. 64 racers, $50,000 to win, plus lots of other races like the Triple 10Ks. And you might get a chance to make a pass down the track with Jeg from Jeg's parts.
It's the only race involved that has a free racer barbecue and a free racer golf game.
Wow.
And you're going to be there.
And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing
Are you giving
them.
away those tickets, those stickers that give a tenth to those
I
cars?
will be bringing a bunch with me. Hey, we were talking to Ron about the Hot Rod Reunion out of Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's June 19th through the 21st. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Come on down. I'm going to be there. Visit the Curry Hedman booth. Meet me. Get some free Speed Scene Live stickers. Plus, watch great nostalgia racing and see hundreds of show cars. And, well, you know what? You might get a chance to see a little red Nova like this. Well, not the purple Nova. That's Randy Wilson. I don't think he's going to be there, but the little red Nova, that one right there, that'll be there at Bowling Green, Kentucky.
June 26th through the 28th, that's going to be the second annual Lone Star Summer Shootout at Big Country Raceway in
Abilene.
Abilene, thank you, Abilene, Texas.
All right, for those of you hot rodders out there, this weekend up in Bakersfield, it's the NSRA West Coast Nationals. I'll be there. Stop by the AAA booth.
That sounds great. We'll be back next week. And, we won't be goofing off next week like we did last week. We're here to work. Work it. We'll see you then.
Bruce, you want to take it away? But before we leave, we want to say, hey, Rich, have another margarita for us at Blue Agave.
Hey, fine idea. That's a fine idea. All right, here comes the encore presentation of tonight's show. Again, thanks for joining us tonight for our brief hiatus and then return. And we're back 1 week from right now, right here at Speed Scene Live.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.